Okay, Mayor, go ahead, please.
All right, if you're ready, we will call the meeting to order. Jen, would you take roll, please?
Commissioner Corrigan?
Here.
Commissioner Thill?
Here.
Commissioner Johnson?
Here.
Commissioner Waldner?
Here.
And Mayor Lindsay.
Okay, here. You have before you the agenda for this evening.
Motion to approve the agenda.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. All those in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, same sign. Motion carried. Now, since I'm not present in the room at this point in time, I'm going to ask Mike Waldner to continue on with the meeting, and I will be here on the phone, and because you can see who's in the room and who isn't. So, Mike, I'm going to ask you to take it from here.
Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you.
In the room, we also have Chad and City Attorney Jenks is here as well, so around the table. Seeing no appearances or acknowledgements, do we have a motion to approve the consent calendar?
So moved. Second.
Motion and a second. All those in favor say aye.
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 All opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Seeing no old business, we will move to new business number 1. Resolution number 2018-16, provide for the creation of tax increment district number 2. And I think we have some folks in the room that would like to talk, or Jen or David, somebody want to start off with it, or?
I will briefly state that you have in front of you Resolution 2018-16, which would authorize the Board of Commissioners this time to provide for the creation of Tax Increment District Number 2. Mr. Morris, would you like to join us? Have a seat.
Mr. Mayor, we have, well, I'll let him introduce himself and
Toby Morris is, I believe, and going to start next, correct?
Yes.
Yep.
Thanks, Mayor. You look good as always.
Would you indicate who you are and what do you represent?
Toby Morris with Doherty and Company. Do I need to turn this on?
nope, you're all on, yep.
Okay.
Thank you.
Just as a follow-up with tax increment district we've been speaking about here for the past couple months, this really brings it to the completion stage. You should have received the tax increment plan a week or so ago.
It's part of the packet this evening.
Part of the packet. We presented that to the Planning and Zoning Commission last week. They made 2 minor edits to the plan, and I don't know, Jen, would you like me to go through the plan in some specific areas? How would the commission like to proceed on that?
I think maybe just a brief overview, kind of just walk down through it. Obviously, it's a 50-page, 30-page document, so certainly don't need to read it to us, but whatever you think you feel comfortable with sharing.
The main points that when you always look into the plan that you want to see, as I go through it, because yes, it is about 38 pages or so, and it does fit to South Dakota Codified Law standards. So there's a lot of specific points that we had to address per the codified law, such as maybe what I'll first start out with is we give the background here on page 2. What is the project? How is it looking? Obviously, the architect's rendition of what the future entails planning on doing. In the plan, it talks about doing the site work and what are the infrastructure costs associated with that. We did not have any hotel costs as part of the TIF, but rather it was looking at the public improvement, road, water, sewer, drainage, lighting, those items in particular, which I have spelled out here on page, I believe here, 1 second, I'm sorry, I do have it spelled out here on the back, where the eligible costs, now this is per codified law, would roughly be $3.2 million, but we're not including those in there in terms of the doors, finishes, equipment. Those are things that you could include in there, but rather what we're looking at it as in the project plan is $1.2 million, which includes any and all interest expense going forward. What will happen is it'll be a dollar for dollar amortization. So as every dollar that comes in from the TIF revenue, it'll be $1 deducted in terms of the obligation going out. one of the issues I've had with other plans I've seen throughout the state is if you assign an interest rate and it starts to accrue, well, the principal never gets touched. So in this case, we're making it very simple, so when you do have your audit going forward, it'll be a dollar for dollar deduction on that. Whether that dollar gets paid out in February, March, or April, we don't have to worry about what day it was paid out because it is one of those dollar for dollar on that. If the plan does not pay out, that is not an obligation of the city. What we have made it here is a complete conduit of the city. So we know it cannot exceed roughly 20 years from the year of creation. So if we get to year 20 right now and there's still $900,000 left to pay out, that's the responsibility of the developer. It's not any liability of the city whatsoever. When we did the projected pay down, when we did the feasibility study, based on what we were looking at, it will pay off. So that is part of one of the bullet points that we have to hit on the codified laws. It does show that it will be paid out based on when the convention center comes in at that point. Maybe I'll stop right there and see if there's any questions, Commissioner Mulder or anybody at this time. Other than that, the other main thing I think to look at is, once again, it fits within the zoning requirements, it fits within the economic feasibility study. I have spoken with the state of South Dakota and Department of Revenue, and they will classify it as economic development, knowing the importance of a hotel and convention center for future.
You mentioned that the planning committee had a couple of changes. Anything major on that?
Yeah, it was a typo.
Okay.
On one in there, I think I had it accidentally listed as TID 4, it's supposed to be TID 2. And I believe another one was to include and all right-of-ways within the verbiage. And so unless you guys have any corrections, what I'll do is have that as a final plan that's submitted to Department of Revenue.
Okay. Any other questions that anybody else might have?
I'm the liaison to the Planning and Zoning Commission, so I've already had the opportunity to hear the presentation. But they had a nice conversation and asked some pretty good questions, and they, I believe it was unanimous. They approved it, or recommended us to approve it, I guess.
Okay.
And then just FYI, and that I have attended the meeting as well, and so I was able to hear the presentation prior, and I'm in favor of it.
Obviously I've not been to the planning meetings. However, I've talked to some of the people involved with this, and from my perspective, this would be just an outstanding thing for our community. Definitely going to change the landscape in that area, and it's going to help our community moving forward with as many things as we have going on in Madison, and this is only yet another positive thing that's happening for our community. So that's kind of the way I'm seeing it. And I don't have any other questions. Commissioner Thill, you're good? Mr. Jenks, you've looked it over?
I've looked it over. I've been involved in several TIFs. I would call this a fairly standard agreement in terms of its provisions. I think it meets the bullet points, so to speak, that are required by SDCL 11-9. I don't see anything that is out of the ordinary, offensive, or concerning in terms of the city and the city's interests.
With that, I'll make a motion that we approve resolution number 2018-16, provide for the creation of tax increment district number 2.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. All those in favor say aye.
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 Aye. All those opposed, same sign. Motion carries. And thank you, Toby. I know you've done a lot of work on it, and from our city, we sure appreciate it. Thank you.
No problem.
New business, item number 2. Authorize mayor to sign contract, Madison Hospitality Group, LLC, Private Development Tax Increment District number 2. And again, Is that for Toby as well?
If he's willing, yeah.
We'll let you continue on.
Thank you.
This is agreement here where you contractually agree to pass on that $1.2 million. There's specific language in here where the developer waives a discretionary right. You don't have a TIF and a discretionary formula, so we point that out. We also point out that it's assignable, so the developer will probably take this to their bank and they borrow against it. But it's clearly stated in here, this is not a general obligation of the city. The only obligation the city has is to pass on what's ever in the TIF increment.
Nothing more, nothing less.
Exactly.
That's right.
So, that's always something that we really like to point out on that side. We also state in here that they have until 2020 to demonstrate that the project costs have been expended. I believe their plan is to start churning dirt here as soon as possible, but yet it's part of keeping you on the offense, so if for some reason it doesn't happen, we like to make sure you can still hold their feet to the fire on that part.
True.
I maybe Attorney Banks has any questions at all?
I don't, not right now.
It has his blessings.
And the breakdown of that 1.2 million is listed in the packet today too. So if anybody's interested in that particular breakdown. Any other questions or comments? Seeing none, I'll make a motion and we authorize the mayor to sign contract Madison Hospitality Group LLC, Private Development Tax Increment District Number 2.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. All those in favor say aye.
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 All those opposed, same sign. Motion carries. And again, thank you, Toby, for your
Thank you.
work on all of this. New business number 3, resolution number 2018-17. Approve a plat, Lot 2, Block 1, Lot 2, and Lot 7-10, inclusive, Block 2, Gobronson, 2nd edition. And Chad, is that your area?
Thank you, Commissioner Waldner. Included in the agenda packet is the resolution, which completes the process, approval of which would complete the process of approving these final plats, as shown in the other attachment in the document, in the agenda packet, which are the plat document itself. You can see where the lots are shown on the map. I'll call it a map, but it's page 1 of the plat. Mr. Gulbranson has received a recommendation of approval from the Planning Commission last week. I would also recommend approval. He hired and completed the infrastructure improvements along Heatherwood Avenue in the northeast part of Madison this spring, and so he's able to now plat these lots, and after he's platted, then at that point he could apply for a building permit to start construction on those should he choose to. Pretty straightforward process. Again, the Planning Commission recommended it. I would also recommend it. It's in accordance with the preliminary plat, also known as the master plan for this area.
Very good. Any other questions?
It's part of the process. It's a good thing to see. I'll make a motion to approve resolution number 2018-17, approve a plat. Lot 2, Block 1, Lot 2, and lots 7 through 10, inclusive. Block 2, Gulbranson, 2nd edition.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. All those in favor say aye.
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 All those opposed? Motion carries. New business number 4. Bid number 876, review and award bid for some transformers. Looks like 4180 kVA. Commissioner Corbin, is this,
This is a result of we had some old transformers we're getting rid of.
and I assume that the low bid is fine?
Well, in this
No,
case, we're
high-
selling
high
scrap.
bid.
Or high bid,
We're bringing
Sorry.
money in. Yeah.
both ways.
So, yeah,
They were awfully close.
very close.
It's like 40 cents or something maybe.
Chad, any thoughts on this?
I don't have any
Jen?
comments.
No. All was in order as far as I know. The bid tab is in front of you, so long as you don't have any questions.
Well, I'll make a motion to approve bid number 876 and award to Dakota American Transformers, the amount of $6,700.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. All those in favor say aye.
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 All those opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Any public comment? One here. Okay, Mr. Mayor, we have one sign for public comment, and so we'll have Jim Casanova come to the front and go ahead and state your name and address so we know kind of Madison resident.
Jim Casanova, 300 Northwest 9th Street, Madison, South Dakota. I think maybe Mr. Johnson could answer this, but I'm kind of wondering what the holdup is, the mower that they brought back.
What the holdup is?
Yeah.
There is no holdup, we're just checking it out to make sure it works correctly.
They what?
Then it's all, it's the one, speaking of the one we use for the cricks,
Yeah, them thistles are going, they're full boom right now and they're blowing all over.
we didn't get it back that long, we didn't get it back that long ago, Jim, we're just making sure that we got it back for free, basically.
I know you did.
You know, and we're making sure it works correctly. And doing it, not just a once over, but a twice over, to make sure it's working right. That's all I can tell you.
Okay.
But it is our intent to use it. I'm glad we brought it back. I know that's something you thought we should do. We did it. Thank you.
You did that. But
I think we're wise to do that. I think we can cover more ground that way. Some of the things you're concerned about.
Well, it used to work real good when
I know.
you did
I understand.
it. I know that.
Yep.
You know, these cricks and even our park down there look horrible. And I know you can't mow that when it's wet, but you can with that.
Yeah. Yep.
Either that or sickle mower, you could have did that too, you know.
But we are working on it, getting it going. So.
Well, I just wondered.
Yep, no, it's a legitimate question, and
I know they had.
I know you've been interested in that in the past, and we're
Okay,
there.
thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Very good. Thank you, Jim.
Thanks, Jim.
Any other announcements? No executive session. Do we have a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Second?
We have a motion and a second. All those in favor?
Aye.
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 All those opposed? Motion approved. Meeting is adjourned.
Thank you, Mr. Wagner, and everyone who's there.
See you, Mayor.
Have a great rest of the day.
You
All
too.
right. We'll see you later, Mayor. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye-bye.